All right, guys, we're on South Beach here in Miami, and we're going to do a shoot. And what we're going to do is we're going to do an off-camera flash shoot. Now, here's what we're going to do. The sun's going down. So what I want to do is I want to set up my camera to where we're actually going to make the ambient light darker. Okay, so we're going to make it darker than it is, and we still have plenty of light here. So I'm going to actually make it darker than it is. Then we're going to light our subject just using an off-camera flash. Now, I have the little pocket wizard on top of my camera, but I'm turning it off for right now. So I'm going to start at my standard starting point, 1/125th of a second at f5.6. So that's where we're going to start. Let me make sure my settings are correct. They are. And I'm going to go ahead and take a shot of our subject real quick. Let's go just see what we get from that. All right, ready? Here we go. Let me take a shot. All right, it's okay. It's actually not bad because the exposure is pretty decent. He's a little dark, but everything else looks okay. What's our job is to make everything a little darker. So if I'm at f5.6, let's try f8 and make things darker. So we're not changing the shutter speed, we're just gonna move to f8. Now let's see where we're at. All right, he is just about a silhouette. Let's take it maybe one little more step. Let's go to f9. All right, one more time and let's see what this looks like. I want him to be almost a complete silhouette. All right, now it really looks like sunset. Now we're going to turn on our flash. So Brad's over here. He has to stand here to hold this. If you're not with Brad, you need to have sandbags because this thing will take off. We're on a beach and it's kind of windy, right? So you're going to need to get some sandbags. Always take sandbags with you. Now, so look what we're doing here. Just to recap. We're using one SB900 flash. We're triggering it with a pocket wizard. It's connected to the flash using the little wire that comes with the pocket wizard. One pocket wizard on the camera, one pocket wizard here, and that fires the flash. We're firing the flash through the umbrella. Let's go ahead and take a look. Now, to really do this right, he's got a great looking outfit on against this yellow lifeguard shack. I'm gonna need to get down really low and shoot up. I'm using a wide angle lens, a 24-70. I'm gonna be shooting at 24 millimeters so I get a really nice wide look. Again, we are in manual mode, 1/125th of a second. We have not changed that. But if I want to darken it, of course, if I go to, if I take it up to 1/200th of a second or something, it's also going to darken the ambient light, right? So let's go ahead. I'm going to get down on one knee. Let's go ahead and take a test shot. All right, now, so can you lower the light stand just a little bit, Brad? So what's happening in the very first shot is, and also, the flash is starting to, I want the flash just to light him. I don't really want the flash to light too much of the lifeguard shack. So I'm going to have Brad kind of tip it away from him just a little bit. And if I have to raise the power of the flash, I can do that. Let's see. Okay, now we're getting there. So the background looks pretty good. We're at half power right now on the flash, so I can bring it up or take it down if I need to. The one thing that you'll notice about this is I've made the background darker, but it's supposed to be kind of like sunset, but the flash is bright white light. That's fine in the studio, but out here on location, it doesn't look very good. So what I'm gonna have Brad do is we're gonna add a half cut of gel. It's called, you'll hear it referred to as a half cut of CTO. All that means is we're putting an orange gel over the flash unit. And we use these things called sticky gels. You can buy them, they're sold online if you search for sticky gels. And they're the exact right size of a standard like Nikon or Canon flash. And you pop them right in there, so now he's going to be warm. All right, let's take a look. We good, Brad?
Good.
All right, let's take another shot here. See if I can get a little bit of the lifeguard station in there. All right, wow. Now look at the difference in the skin color here. His skin is much, much better. It looks warm. Now it looks like he's being lit by the setting sun. It looks a little flashy to me. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna actually have him come off the light stand, the lifeguard stand a little bit. We're gonna step back a little bit. Brad, I'm gonna have you bring that back a little bit because there's too much light from the flash hitting the lifeguard stand. So let's try this again. Let me just see how this is gonna look now. Much, much better. Brad, I'm gonna have you actually bring this around here because we're kind of beside him. I wanna kind of aim me right at him. All right, here we go. Let me just take one up here. Ooh, sweet, okay. Now we're in the sweet spot. Just getting him off that background, we were getting a lot of shadows, it was lighting a lot of that. And we have a nice look on the back of the camera. He looks good, the skin looks soft, but the background looks good. If I wanted to darken it just a little bit more, here's what I would do. I can actually change the ambient light. Remember, your shutter speed controls the amount of light that we see out here. So let's take it to 1/200th of a second. We can't, remember, we can't go above 1/250. Let's do 1/200th of a second and see where we are. Here we go, let's see. Wow, wow, that really darkened the background quite a bit. So you can see this is going to be a game of going back and forth. How dark do you want the background? How light do you want everything else? I'm going to get down low again because that's really where this shot makes it, using this wide angle camera. So let's just wrap up with a couple more looks, and then we're going to try a little trick. Here we go. All right, you ready? Ooh, this looks good, nice. Beautiful. This looks great. All right, we're getting a little bit of a light back onto the lighthouse, but it still looks good all the way around. So here's the deal. We're going to try one last trick to fix this up. We're going to intentionally make the background blue. So I'm going to change my white balance to a very, very blue white balance, like fluorescent or something like that. And so either tungsten or fluorescent, so it's going to go blue. That way, everything looks artificially blue, but he's going to be really, really yellow. I might have to pump up the volume a little on the, or the power a little on the flash. So let's go ahead and change my white balance right now. I'm going to change it to fluorescent. Let me take a test shot and see where we're at. It is Blue City. Now let me get into position. Let's get that a little bit closer to him, if you will. All right, we still have the yellow gel in there. All righty. So I'm going to try. I have fluorescent on there. It might be a little too blue because this needs, actually, you know what this needs? More gel. What do we have in here? We have a half cut of orange temperature gel. What we need is a full cut of orange temperature gel. So I'm going to have Brad put more yellow in here because the background is totally blue now. Let's add some more blue. All right, guys, so take a look. Here is a half cut, and there's a full cut right there. You can see what the difference is. One is much, much darker in shade. So what happened was when I changed the white balance to the blue, I lost the yellow. So what do? You just increase the amount of yellow. So we're going to go from 1/2 to 1 full. Brad, go ahead and pop that baby in there and we'll take a shot. All right, we've got the full cut in there now. Let's go ahead and take a couple of shots here and see where we're at. That did it. That was all it needed, was that extra bit of orange, and we're there. Let's take a couple more while we got it working. Nice. It might even be a little too dark now, so I'm going to change my ambient back. Drop it to 125. That's going to make the surroundings a little brighter. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. That's how to put this together. We're only using one light. It's a very, very simple setup. It's a very inexpensive setup, and it's easy to do. But it's one of those things where you don't be afraid to try this stuff when you're out there. Don't be afraid to try. Lower the background light so you can create kind of your own light. Remember, the ambient light is kind of your background light. We're really using this as the light that lights our subject. All right, all we did was move them a few feet away. We're just going to do one little change on this. Just going to shoot them against the back. The sunset behind them is so beautiful. I'm just going to kind of move a little bit this way, and we're going to just frame up a couple real quick because the clouds look so great over there. All right, very nice. And one more. Great, beautiful clouds back there. I just had to take advantage of it.